presents college lacrosse from Hofstra Stadium, Hempstead, New York. The 6th-ranked Greyhounds of Loyola taking on the 13th-ranked Flying Dutchmen of Hofstra University. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Carl Reuter, along with the former All-American goalie at Cornell, Bob Rule. And Bob, when I look at this game, when you look at this game, common denominator, Hofstra able to beat Brown, but Brown beat Loyola. So how does this game size up?
Well, what's really important about this stat, it gives the Hofstra players confidence. They say, hey, Brown beat Loyola. We beat Brown. We have a good shot in this game tonight.
Why is this game so big?
Well, for Hofstra, if they want to move up in the rankings, they got to beat the teams ahead of them. They only played 3 teams in the top 15. This is one of them. If they want to make the playoffs, they got to beat Loyola tonight.
One guy that's been a spark plug all season long for the Greyhounds of Loyola, you've got to love the play of Brian Duffy.
Well, I use the word Greyhound, Carl, and whoever coined that phrase for Loyola was thinking about Brian Duffy. 6'3", 175-pound attack midi. He is a terrific player. He's fast. He's good on ground balls. He's their leading scorer. He's big enough to bulldog to the goal, and if he's picked up double-teamed, he's smart enough to feed that ball out for assists. He's got 13 goals and 19 assists. He is one of the most potent offensive players in lacrosse today.
So how do you match up the potent offense? Well, you go to the flip side for Hofstra University. You look at their defense, probably the best all-around player for the Flying Dutchman this year, number 4, Doug Altmansberger.
Well, as a defensive coach and a former goalie, I love hard, tough, gritty defensemen. Doug Altmansberger has played here for 4 years. In the Vermont game, he was hurt. He wasn't supposed to play. 3rd quarter, Hofstra's playing a lackluster game. They're down 8-5. Altmansberger goes to the coach and says, Coach, I want to play. Goes into the game. Hofstra runs 6 straight goals off, including 1 unassisted by Altmansberger to win it. He is that kind of gritty leader that every team needs, every coach loves. He's got to play great tonight to give Hofstra a real chance of beating Loyola.
Don't let the coaches fool you, Dave Cottle, John Danowski. This is a big game. They will downplay that, though. Earlier tonight, I had a chance to talk to the Hofstra coach, John Danowski, ask him what he might do differently against the Greyhounds of Loyola.
Yeah, I think you'll see us do a couple of things differently. First, defensively, we're going to try to bump up a couple long poles to play their terrific midfielders. They've got their first midfield group is dynamite. Their second midfield group is excellent. And not that we don't respect their attack, which we do very much, but their midfielders are very dangerous. We'll also face off a long pole when they bring up their long pole to face off. And offensively, we're going to try to execute just a little bit better, be prepared for them to deny the ball a little bit, and be prepared to play some zone offense.
Should be a dandy. Bob and I back with the opening face-off from Hofstra Stadium, Hempstead, New York. Number 6, Loyola. Number 13, Hofstra. Stay with us.
Good luck to Hofstra's Flying Dutchman.
The NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship celebrates its 25th year in 1995. Tickets are available now for this silver anniversary celebration at the University of Maryland's Byrd Stadium, May 27th through 29th. For information, call 1-800-462-8377. That's 1-800-462-TERPS.
Back here at Hofstra Stadium, Hempstead, New York. Carl Reuter along with Bob Rule, just about set for the opening face-off between Hofstra and Loyola. Both teams come into this game with 1 loss. Highly ranked Loyola number 6, Bob Rule. Hofstra number 13. Opening face-off right away, the long poles.
Something you don't see all the time. 2 long poles facing off, Dave Newman and Jamie Hanford. I said last year that Jamie Hanford was the best freshman prospect in the country.
Well, let's see what Hofstra can do. They need to get off to a flying start through the Dutchman. They'll play it back in the cage. And they look to work it upfield. We check the numbers as we go. Number 43 for Hofstra was Vinny Hannigan on the far side of the field.
A good face-off. There's a lot of pressure on Hanford. He's only a freshman. A lot of pressure on the face-off. Human, on the other hand, a senior, one of the veterans for Hofstra.
The big guy for Hofstra will be number 15, Kevin Jacobs. That is he right now in control of the ball.
Played by Brendan Fry, who was a 3rd-team All-American last year. This is a key matchup right here, Carl. If he can control the ball for Hofstra, Hofstra's got a real good chance of scoring goals.
Number 20 for the Flying Dutchman is Brian Holland. He is a senior. Holland controlling behind the cage. Very deliberate offense for Hofstra, Bob Rule, to start this game against Loyola.
Well, smart idea because they know how high-powered the Loyola midfielders are, so they try to keep the ball away from them, work for the good shot, let Loyola make the impatient mistake on defense.
You mentioned the middies. In fact, in talking to John Danowski, he thinks the key to this game will be the play of the midfield for both sides.
That's right, and there you see a mistake by Hofstra.
Far side being chased down, coming up with the ground ball for the Flying Dutchman. Transfer from Nassau, number 11, Scott Sullivan.
What they've got to do, though, they can't make mistakes like that, Carl. It's an unforced error. You can't do that. They've got to be patient on offense and work for that good shot.
Flip to number 14 is Del Halliday. He is a senior. Number 9 is Brian Baxo, familiar name to Long Island. Played at the powerhouse Farmingdale High School here on the island, not too far from Hofstra Stadium. That is Baxo in control.
Now they're basically running one-on-one out front, and they're looking at Baxo. He's a big kid, looking maybe try to beat the man one-on-one. Here comes the long pole, Ottmansberger now. Here's a key matchup right here.
24 is Zach Thornton. He's got some speed. The shot just goes wide. In the cage for the Hofstra Flying Dutchman, number 17, only a sophomore, making only his 5th start Division I, number 17, Mark Spruitt.
He's a good one, though. He was the Empire State goalie here in Nassau County as a senior year in high school, Carl.
Shot goes wide. The backer there was Brian Duffy, number 2. Loyola puts it right back in front. Shot was knocked away by Spruitt. The bounce shot on this AstroTurf here. Dave Cottle, what a job he has done. 13th year, 113 wins. In fact, 11 straight winning seasons. More importantly, the NCAA playoffs, Bob Rule, 7 straight years, including last year.
And not only that, for the last 7 years, 3rd best record in Division I lacrosse. Only Syracuse and North Carolina are better than him. Great consistency. He's got great recruiter. He's taken Loyola right to the first ranks of lacrosse.
Has elevated this program to one of the best in the nation, as Bob Rule just said. Taking his eye off it, but able to recover. Rich Gargiulo, he is a senior. Another local product from here on Long Island. Find most of the Loyola team is from down in the hotbed in the Baltimore area. A lot of Hofstra players come here from right here on Long Island as well. Looking to make a move and spinning. There's the bounce shot, hit the crossbar. Gargiulo, and in the cage for Loyola. Failed to mention their goalie.
Tim McGeaney, the goaltender for Loyola. Tim McGeaney is the only All-American returning for Division I lacrosse.
Bob Rule loves those goalies.
Not only that, Tim McGeaney met our best friend, which is the pipe.
The pipe.
You're playing. He was my best friend when I played.
No score in this first quarter from Hofstra Stadium. Baxo being pushed away. In on the crease. Spruitt comes up.
Great defensive play, though. When you do something like that, when you're playing a man, push him behind the goal. That's just what he did then, pushed him right in the crease. Notice too, Carl, in the college game, you start right away. As soon as the ball's put in play, they've done a couple of things this year to speed the game up. That's one of them. You put it in play immediately if the ball goes behind the goal.
Also, Bob, to speed up play, only 3 timeouts per team, and you can only take as many as 2 in any one half.
Exactly. Now they have the basketball rule, too, in possession. If there's a questionable call now, instead of facing it off, it's possession. Flip of the coin determines who gets possession first. You win the flip to get possession first.
In possession right now behind the cage is 15, Jacobs. Flipping it out in front off the hop on the turf is Chris Panos, number 42, for the Flying Dutchman. Good stick work there by Loyola. Number 5 was Kevin Johnson. I should say number 5, Jamie Hanford.
And I like this. The longer Hofstra can hold the ball like this, the more confidence they're going to have. You got to remember, Carl, 2 years ago, these same Hofstra guys beat, in a big upset, beat these Loyola guys right on this field.
Well, the Flying Dutchman would like nothing better than to repeat that performance. The jump shot taken by Tony Alexander. Now, he's got a bad knee. Missed the last 2 games, but he was in that starting lineup. You can see the heavily wrapped right knee of Tony Alexander.
He's also probably a midfielder. Mike Bessier, who went down early in injury, was really their 3rd attackman. But Alexander's real quick. They're looking for his speed to offset the fact he's not played attack.
Ryan Holland came up with the loose ball. Inside 10 minutes to play. No score, Hofstra and Loyola. Shot score, Hofstra. 26, Blake Miller.
Now, one thing John Danowski said was he was going to take Blake Miller instead of give a little more free ranging on the second midfield. Look at Miller drive down hard to his right, stop, plants with a classic roll dodge and bangs a good shot home, using Loyola player as a screen. We got to make sure we mention Blake Miller, one of 11 children from Manhasset. Here he comes. He's got to be hungry, Carl. Anybody with 11 children has got to be hungry. 10 brothers and sisters.
Hungry enough for his third goal of the season. 1-0, Flying Dutchman.
He was an All-American at Nassau Community College, one of the junior college transfers come over and help this Hofstra program.
Should mention that you did call out the town of Manhasset, a powerhouse lacrosse team, which you're associated with. Long call, stick check from behind. Came out of the stick of Doug Altmansberger, but it was chased down.
A good play, but Altmansberger's got to shoot a little sooner. He figured he had another 2 or 3 feet towards the goal. There's Blake Miller on the sideline. Dad owns a couple of McDonald's, so keeps the family fed.
Well, when you have 13 kids, Bob Rule, you've got to do something to keep food on the table.
Now, wait, he's got 11 kids. My wife has 13 kids in her family.
Well, you said 13 though.
Did I?
Before, yeah.
I was thinking of my wife then.
All right. Well, it's still a big family. To recap, Miller, his second, unassisted at 5-13, 1-0 Flying Dutchman.
Notice too, Carl, how the offense is really spread out. They're trying to do a lot of one-on-one, put pressure on their defense.
Behind the cage, knocked down, comes out in front. You want to see speed? Watch Blagrove, number 1 for Loyola. This guy can run up and down the field as fast as anyone in the nation. Duffy, number 2. And now in control, number 29, the junior is Mark O'Brien for Loyola. Looking to make the move. With the step, the shot, saves Spruitt, loose, and Spruitt covers it up, and Hofstra will look to clear it out.
And Carl, that was a good save, and for a goalie, the first save is so important in lacrosse. That gives him a little confidence. That was a good save.
Far side, Altmansberger loses, and Loyola will take over. Checking into the lineup, number 24, sophomore Rich Langtree for Hofstra.
Now here he comes, good shot, comes down and drives the ball, but look at Spruitt get down real quick, stop the ball, and then clear it well. Altmansberger's got to get rid of the ball quicker, Carl. He got trapped on the sideline, and he cannot let that happen.
John Danowski, coach of the Flying Dutchman in his 10th year, won his 100th career game as a collegiate coach against Vermont back in March. Also coached 3 years at CW Post here on Long Island before taking over the reins at Hofstra. Tough part of the night right now, Bob. Talk about it, because darkness setting in and the lights really haven't taken effect yet.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I didn't see that ball coming down, and I don't have to see it, so I have a good vantage of it. That's one of the problems with feeding, and it's an advantage, I think, to Hofstra. They're used to playing light like this. They'll practice around this time sometimes to get used to playing the lights, and Loyola's not used to this, so I think it's to Hofstra's advantage right now.
Well, John Danowski's got to like it with the team leading at 1-0 inside 8 minutes to play. First quarter, Hofstra Stadium, Hempstead, New York. Loyola coming in to this game with a record of 6-1, ranked number 6 in the nation. Hofstra is 4-1, and they are ranked number 13.
Now, Carl, these are the mistakes they can't make. That was offsides then. You can't do it at this level.
Talked about the unforced errors. Once again, that was it, and Hofstra gave it up. Those are the mistakes that John Danowski was talking about. In fact, he said their one loss this year to UMass a couple of weeks ago. He said the team was very nervous, very tentative. He said he was going to be more in a jokingly fashion with the team, not talk about lacrosse so much before this game. He said the kids came in very loose. He noticed that right away before tonight's game.
Well, I said they've got to have confidence. These guys beat Loyola 2 years ago, and this year, of course, I said with that Brown game, I don't like to use comparative scores, but everybody does that. You compare what other teams are doing against you versus other teams, and it gives you confidence. So what you can do.
Behind the cage, in possession right now, you were looking at one of the officials. That was Tim Murray. Loose, and the shot and the score. And it is Brian Duffy, the junior, the man Bob Rule talked about and highlighted, was left alone in front and able to beat Spruitt.
You can't leave him alone for a second. A great play. If we see the replay, watch how he steps into a shooting lane when a guy doubled from him. Now here comes the attackman coming around, all right? Working behind. Now watch out. Look at how Duffy gets right in the shooting lane, and look at that economy of a shot. He just takes it and dumps it off real quick. Watch. Lower left-hand side off the goalie's hip. That's the best shot in lacrosse. And it just up that amazing shooting percentage for him. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Excellent shot, excellent play by Loyola.
You talk about shooting percentages, and a lot of people don't look at statistics, but here's the long stick again on the faceoff. Dave Heumann, of course, going up against Jamie Hanford, and when the long stick pole faces off, it really prevents a fast break, and that's one of the reasons they're using it tonight.
That's the whole idea. Prevent that fast break so that Loyola can't get those powerful middies coming in on Spruitt right away.
That is Baxo number 9. But when you talk about shots, Bob Rule, Loyola scores at 33%. For every 3 shots they take, they score 1 goal. But when you talk about Duffy, he scores at 55% of his shots. Every 2 shots, 1's going in the cage.
That's right. That's just an incredible percentage right now.
There is a timeout on the field. We're tied at 1. We're back with more from Hofstra right after this timeout.
Choice Care introduces the best of both worlds for any size business. Now you can...
Hofstra Stadium, Carl Reuter along with Bob Rule. Bob, interesting first quarter. We're tied at 1 apiece, Hofstra and Loyola.
And Hofstra has made a couple of really unforced errors that are giving more pressure on their defense because of the fact Loyola's got the ball more. Example, Spruitt then's got 4 seconds to clear the ball out of the crease. He got rid of it in a second. He didn't set his feet. He didn't really look at the target. He threw a bad pass. That's a sophomore mistake, though. He'll learn as he goes along.
Both teams have a good blend as Duffy, number 2, controls. That is Zach Thornton, who just moments ago whistled a shot wide. In front, the crease, the bounce shot, and the score goes to Chris Georgalis, the freshman, number 26.
Now, you say he was parked right at the crease, and they were too quick to double it. Hofstra's got to let their guys play one-on-one a little bit. 2 inches to double, left that guy open right on the crease to score. There it is. Look at the move. Now watch. He goes down. They double real quick, all by himself on the crease. A fake high, which is what you're supposed to do, and he shot low.
The 14th goal of the season for Georgalis, who played at Mayapack High School in, I guess, Upper Westchester, whose dad, Ted, runs that program, and it is a super program at Mayapack.
Has had several real good Division I ball players come out of there and play.
So Loyola with its first lead, and then in front, it's loose and some wild play.
Good chance for them. Good look to the crease, but the wrong man caught it. Should have gone to the man behind him.
36 for Hofstra, Tony Alexander. 15 is Kevin Jacobs. Jacobs been very quiet so far in this first quarter.
Well, he's got one of the best defensemen on the nation with him, and they could use him almost as a decoy. Get Fry out of the play is getting one of their best players out.
Of course, Fry wearing number 8 for Loyola. Loose on the near side, chased down, scooped in. Great effort, number 3, Brian Volpe.
But it goes back to Hofstra.
Approaching 5.5 minutes left, first quarter. 2-1 Loyola.
They get rid of those unforced errors, Carl. I mean, it's a good game anyways, but the score is 1-1, not 2-1.
Gargiulo with a burst in front. Fry got a stick, checked on Jacobs, number 15. Play it on the outside, looking to make the move off the spin is Brian Langtree. He is a freshman, and he is also the younger brother of sophomore Rich Langtree, number 24.
I like that play, though, Carl. He came to the cage. He forgets he's a freshman sometimes playing with varsity guys. He came around, took a good shot, good bounce shot. Those will go if you keep taking them.
Jacobs looking to work Fry one-on-one, goes in front, the quick shot, and just getting a piece. McGeaney in the cage.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, Chris Panos showed a lot of confidence, or Matt Panos showed a lot of confidence, or Chris Panos. If you look at that, a lot of confidence, a lot of focus to catch that ball with a man right on him, take a good shot.
But I like the way McGeaney come out of the cage and cut down the angle as well.
Well, that's that aggressiveness. I love aggressive goaltenders, and McGeaney's one of the most aggressive goaltenders playing. He's got a 71% save percentage, which is extraordinary. In the mid-60s is great for a Division I goaltender playing a program like this. He's stopping 71% of his shots.
Losing on the shot, he was checked from behind, was number 20, Brian Holland. And here comes Loyola. Number 12 is Matt Dwan. Shot score in front. 26, second of the game, Chris Georgalis. 3-1 Loyola.
Let's go. Wait. Heads up, heads up. Let's go. Scott, good hustle, Benny.
This play starts with a lot of hustle by a defenseman coming down, looks to that corner, catches the man. Really, Dave Human, a little bit of sleep on that corner, gets it right in front. Gets it right in front. Here he comes. The defenseman comes down. Watch, he'll catch Dave Human's a little bit of sleep on the corner. Checks a little late. He flips the ball behind his back for a goal.
That defenseman you were talking about was Matt Dwan, and then Georgalis gets the feed, goes over the shoulder for the goal. Second of the game, Loyola by 2 at 3-1.
Well, it's interesting. Dave Cottle feels Matt Dwan's the best lacrosse athlete he's got. He says he's terrific on ground balls, plays great defense, would do anything for him, be a great attackman. Instead, he does that kind of thankless role as a long pole midfielder, shutting out their best guys.
When you talk about the thankless job, actually, it's those types of players that make winning programs, and that's exactly what Loyola has, and Cottle gets the most out of everyone on this team.
Well, the only question I have with Dave Cottle, he runs Brian Duffy on both offense as a midfielder and as an attackman. On a hot day, he might get ground down a little bit. That's the only question I would have on that.
That coach that John Danowski was talking to is his defensive assistant, Rich Donovan. He's his number 1A, John Danowski, is Donovan. Broken stick on the field. It is number 24, Rich Langtree of Hofstra.
Langtree made a smart play, but you can't play with a stick. You're supposed to drop it and go. It's probably, it was interference, and the ball was already on the ground.
That's what Dave Cottle is questioning right now.
Dave Cottle is screaming that the ball was still on the guy's stick, and it should be a penalty right now, 30 seconds for holding the stick, like that. But they got away with something right there, I think.
Number 11, Tim O'Shea for Loyola.
Nobody's got a short stick on him. Right now, he should go hard to the goal. Drive that post.
He works in on Holland. Spruitt might have gotten a piece, and it is Spruitt who comes up with it in the crease area.
Now, Carl, what they're doing is they're running the long poles. The defensemen actually are playing the midfielders, and short stick guys are taking the attack. That could work to their benefit if, in fact, the short stick guys do not take advantage of the guy coming around the goal.
There is the remains of Langtree's stick. And on the unforced turnover, that baby is just cracked. There's nothing that you can do with that.
No, I can't even hazard what that was made out of. They got titanium sticks now, are pretty stiff. Maybe it was a titanium head that just cracked.
And the unforced error, Spruitt making a bad clearing pass, and Loyola gets possession with 3 minutes left in this first quarter, and then losing, trying to save, scoops it, but it comes to Altmansberger of Hofstra, number 4. Altmansberger with a head of steam, looks to make a move with the long pole, knocked out of his stick. Fry chasing number 8 for Loyola. Coming up with it is number 17, and that is Chris Lloyd, the senior. O'Shea, number 11. He loses. Number 35 taking it away, James Delgado, the junior for Hofstra, comes to the near side. That is Dave Human. The guys have to be having trouble with the lights, Bob. These are two skilled clubs that are missing some easy passes.
I noticed before on Thornton, it bounced right off his helmet. Now that's not something a skilled athlete's gonna make a mistake like that. I agree. I think the lights are affecting right now.
Vinny Hannigan, 43 for Hofstra. 2 minutes left first quarter. Loyola, 3 straight goals, leading the Dutchman 3-1.
Right now, Hofstra's got to keep playing their game. Right now, he's got a short stick on him, and I really think he should go on him.
Hannigan making the move on O'Brien. O'Brien checked it out. Chased down. Jacobs coming up with it. Near side 15 for Hofstra, and then poked away by Fry.
Kevin Jacobs stopped just for a second. You can't do that against a guy like Brendan Fry. He's going to check you, and that's just what happened. Especially Carl on the sidelines. Pick that ball up and sprint out of danger.
What makes a Brendan Fry so good and so valuable, number 8 of Loyola?
Okay, you take, first of all, his athletic ability, and then you put that with that, the patience to know when to check, the patience to know when to go hard and go soft on a attackman. Most defensemen are too impatient and make a mistake that has nothing to do with being a good athlete. It has something to do with their just thought process.
Shot, score, 11, Tim O'Shea, 4-1. And all of a sudden, the Greyhounds pulling away number 12 on the season for Tim O'Shea, the freshman for the Greyhounds of Loyola.
Well, right now they're getting their most of their scoring from their attack. Okay, Brian Duffy, who goes both attack and midfield, scores 1, but O'Shea's got, how many does O'Shea have? O'Shea's got 2?
No, well, O'Shea, his first in the game,
That's
has an assist, 12th of the season.
Okay, and Georgalis, I think, has 2, so their attack's doing a good job for them.
Now, I mentioned that this is only the 5th Division I start for the sophomore goalie, Spruitt. When might we see the senior, Kevin Johnson, if John Danowski was to make a switch?
Well, you've got to look at his confidence right now. He's not clearing the ball very well. I can't say that looking that way. Here comes the goal. Now watch. Comes down the center of the field, missed the dodge, and shot a real bullet up over his right-hand shoulder.
Final minute of play, first quarter. Hofstra in control, trailing 4-1. See what they do here in the final 50 seconds.
He's got a short stick. They should clear out like what they're doing right now, go one-on-one.
Brian Langtree, number 3 for Hofstra. Goes behind Alexander, 15 Jacobs. Jacobs looking to spin and work on Fry. Comes back to the forehand side, and it's knocked away again. And look at Fry work the long pole.
But look at that patience, Carl. You see how patient he was? Didn't overcheck him. He checked it just the right moment.
Makes a nice move, loses. Loose on the turf. Fought for, scooped back into the hands of Hofstra's number 40, Dan Presley. Watch the clock with 15 seconds.
And he's got plenty of time to go on him. Go on him, either get a shot or draw the foul.
Backer is there as Alexander, 4 seconds left. Hofstra keeps it.
Now, most teams have a set play right now, Carl. They'll blow the whistle. Jacobs will take it, throw to the crease. See the men setting up in front of the goal? Guys will cut to the ball.
There it is. The attempt, the dive, no good. The horn will sound. And the first quarter has come to an end. 2 goals in the first quarter for the freshman, Chris Georgalis, and Loyola has scored 4 straight after Hofstra opened up the scoring. We've completed 15 minutes. It's 4-1 Loyola. We're back with the second quarter right after this timeout. Lacrosse Unlimited, with locations in Nassau and Suffolk County, offers both the player and the fan the most complete selection of lacrosse. New York, first quarter is complete, and the Flying Dutchman trailed Loyola by the score of 4-1. Hofstra opened up the scoring first, Miller getting his third. It was unassisted, but then 4 straight goals by Loyola. Duffy, Georgalis, and then O'Shea at 13:35 of the first quarter, making it a 4-1 lead in favor of the Greyhounds, the 6th-ranked team in the nation.
Now, if you look at it, watch that, a bullet. Good screen, zipped right over Spruitt's shoulder. We'll go back to Spruitt. He's made a couple of unforced errors that have given Loyola's offense too much time with the ball. They've got to cut down those unforced errors.
Again, the long sticks on the face-off. It was Hanford, number 5, Loyola 34, Human for Hofstra. The team switch ends, and second quarter action underway. Duffy, number 2 for Loyola with the ball.
There's Juan staying in the game a little bit, the long pole. He's got 6 goals and 3 assists this year. He's a threat. They like him to stay in a little bit with a long pole on the crease, hoping maybe he'll get a quick feed.
He made that quick feed moments ago to Georgalis, and then Georgalis over the shoulder for his second of 2 in that first quarter. Brian Baxo, number 9, the shot and the score, and that's a bad goal by Spruitt.
Went down, went to a stick side low. I think there's a problem with his confidence right now, unfortunately. Good shot, though. I mean, it was a good shot by Baxo. Drove down hard on the goal.
10th goal of the season for Brian Baxo.
Look at him drive. He's driving. Now, the defenseman's got to check his stick when he shoots. That's a good shot to the far corner. But Mark Spruitt in a big game like today has got to make some big saves on shots like that. Look again. Now watch him line him up. He's a big kid. Comes down. The defenseman is just not checking his stick. One of the key parts of defense, Carl, you got to run with your guy like a defensive back. You can't meet them standing still.
The short stick on that face-off. Flag is down. That was Rob Minnow on the face-off for Hofstra. Flag is down, and we will check it. George Gagas, the referee, the umpire, Kevin O'Leary. The field judge is Tim Murray in this game.
Okay, Carl, it's a technical foul. They call him for a push with possession. It's a 30-second penalty for Hofstra to 30-second advantage for Hofstra. If people aren't familiar, 30-second penalties are called when a player is not in danger of being hurt, and a minute penalty is called for things like slashing on the head, from behind, and so on.
Sitting it out is Zach Thornton, number 24 for Loyola.
Now they're in a 1-3-2. I think they'll probably want to get the ball behind the goal and work their offense so the goalie is turned around.
Hofstra in need of a goal here. They've given up 5 straight. They led 1-0, and it is 5-1 now Loyola. And Jacobs not able to gather in the pass. Again, the turnover, and Loyola with possession.
It almost looked like he was looking up before he caught the ball.
That's 4 turnovers for Hofstra in this game. Heavy hit on the far side. Alexander and Duffy. Getting a little bit more physical now as this game. He's got to be wondering right now. He has got to be wondering, John Danowski.
Well, he knows the unforced errors are hurting him. He's got to cut that down, work his offense.
Well, trying to get the team going. That is number 4, Altmansberger.
Notice, Carl, they cut everybody off. They want Altmansberger to go one-on-one with Dwan. Very unusual. And there it is. They force a bad pass. People got to break in and break out real hard to catch the ball. Like a receiver in football. You break in on your man, break out real hard to get open. Hofstra players didn't do it then.
All defensive Jacobs there because Altmansberger throwing that pass at Jacobs' feet. That's a tough one to come up with.
And it's another unforced error, Carl. Shouldn't happen on the offensive side of the field.
Good move. Jamie Hanford on the fake. And then dumps it off to Brian Duffy. We've got a whistle. And offsides has been called on Loyola. And Dave Cottle is hot. Tough to argue with Dave Cottle. If Dave Cottle says he missed the call, did he miss the call, Bob?
Well, what happened was the man they were subbing on the fly, so the man's off the field momentarily. It looks like they were down a man. You've got to have 4 men on the defensive side of the field. They didn't have it.
The fight coming to the near side. Panos chases it down. Let's take a look at the offside or the non-offside.
Okay, well, he's coming down. You really can't see. There's number 6 right there with a stick up in the air, which indicates that's what a player will do. He'll put a stick in the air to show that he's onside. You got to have 4 guys on the defensive side of the field, and you've got to have 3 guys on the offensive side of the field. It can be any combination, but if you don't have 3 or 4, you're offsides.
5-1. Dutchman trail to the Greyhounds of Loyola College with 12.5 minutes left in this first half of play. Brian Holland working it one-on-one with number 3, Brian Volpe.
The Greyhound defense is right in your face.
They really do come right up and attack. It's loose, but picked up again. 43 is Vinny Hannigan. Shot goes wide by Brian Holland.
Brian Holland, they've got to make those shots count, Carl. They've got to get him on the cage. That was good ball movement, though. That's what they've got to do. Move that ball quickly.
And, you know, Hofstra really hasn't tested yet the play of goalie number 23, Tim McGeaney. They really haven't been in on him. That's Blagrove on the far side. If he opens it up, watch him. He is exciting.
Turns on the afterburners. Good clear by McGee. You see how he took 2 seconds, looked out, found Blagrove up the field, and zipped it past him. That's what Stewart's got to do.
29 is Mark O'Brien. O'Brien's open, and O'Brien shoots inside of the net. Side of the net. Stewart on the clear. This is Brian Holland.
Holland's tired, though. He is tired.
He looks to dump it off, makes an errant pass, and Loyola comes up with it. They come ahead looking number 7, Pat Irvin. 26 on the near side is Jorgalis. Hofstra really looking out of it right now, Bob Rule. When does John Danowski utilize a timeout here?
I'm not really sure what he feels probably he's in the game pretty good, and there's no reason to just stop play. He feels he's maybe getting his offensive chances and doesn't want to stymie his team right now.
Shot goes wide on the attempt by O'Brien, the junior. The backer there. Loyola keeps it. Jorgalis will go from behind the Loyola net, number 26. Moving on Holland, looking to spin and now backs it off. Double B's Brian Baxo. Shot goes wide.
Now they're moving the ball around real well. A lot of one-on-ones. He's got a short stick on it behind the goal. I would pressure the corner right now, Carl. Bring that ball around. Look to dump it if there's a problem.
Very confident team, too, the way they're whipping the ball around Loyola.
You got
a lot of confidence.
A 5-1 lead. You're a lot of confidence.
Walking right in, his path cut off was number 11, Tim O'Shea. That's Dave Heumann, 34, long stick. This is O'Brien as they back it out a little bit more, does Loyola to try to set it up. Paul Judge is 31 for Hofstra. Loose at midfield, and Baxo comes up with it. Very athletic is Brian Baxo. Very athletic family, in fact. His sister Paula, as his shot gets knocked away, was perhaps the best girls basketball player at Farmingdale High School of all of Long Island. Paula Baxo, the younger sister of Brian.
Good defense then, Carl. They played Baxo. He drove to the goal. They doubled on him real well. Didn't get a good shot.
Come to the far end of the field. There is a whistle. It's an offsides.
Got to get on the field quick enough. That's another unforced error. They can't afford that. A good offensive play then. That's six unforced errors. That's translated by my count into 3 goals for Loyola.
And Loyola with a nice cushion at 5-1, leading by 4 with 9.5 left in this first half. Halliday 14. 24 is Thornton just running onto the field. Look at the burst. Knocked from behind by Rich Langtree.
A good check.
Get it.
Got to remember, Zach Thornton was the first-team All-American soccer goalie. Was playing the Pan Am Games, so missed 4 weeks of practice. Will probably sign a pro contract after lacrosse season is over. He's a multi-talented athlete.
You were a multi-talented athlete.
Yeah, but I sat on the other sport and collected splinters.
That's all right.
This guy played.
Hey, take a compliment. I said you were multi-talented.
Thank you.
Bob Rule, of course, the former All-American goalie, won a national championship at Cornell, and then took the back seat in ice hockey to the legendary Ken Dryden, who I think he had a pretty good career in the pros in the
Not
NHL
bad.
With the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, he's got the money and I got the ring. That's what I look at right now.
But you've got the fame right now. You're working this game.
That's true. That's true.
We could have selected Ken Dryden, but we selected Bob Rule.
He's too busy. Ken Dryden would be too busy eating right now.
8:40 left in this first half. Alexander with the bad right knee. I mentioned he has missed the last 2 games, but back in action for Loyola. And Hofstra needs a spark. They need to get on the board. They scored the first goal, but Loyola has answered with 5 straight. The whip and shot by Panos.
I'm really impressed, Carl, with Panos' concentration. He is catching the ball in a big crowd. If he had a little better shot, that's a tough save for a goalie to make. The reason it's tough, Carl, is the goalie's turned around on a feed like that. He's got to turn around, find the ball, and make the save. Very tough to do.
Still loose. Hofstra regains. That's Alexander. Behind the cage is Kevin Jacobs. He has been shut down totally.
He had a short stick on him, though. I think he really should have gone on him.
You really like the one-on-one with the short stick for the guy to really attack and go to the cage.
Well, Kevin Jacobs is so used to playing with a guy with a long stick that when you have a short stick on, it's a luxury. He should have probably driven the corner, looked to dump it off.
Danowski's still in it.
Well, you heard him screaming go because the long pull for Loyola was not in the game yet, so it was really 6-on-5.
Shot and a score.
That's what they got to do. Excellent pass.
Blake Miller, second goal of the game.
Good ball movement, Carl. That was the key to that. A good feed. Caught Miller. Miller took an excellent shot. That's the key. The goalie's got to turn around and find it because he's playing with the ball behind. Look at the goal. Look at McGeady. He's behind. Miller catches the ball. Good. Look at that. Good overhand shot. Bounces right in front of the goalie, away from his stick. Here it comes again. Look at the goalie behind. Miller catches it. Good overhand shot to the corner. I'll tell you something. McGeady has not made any key saves yet. He's given up 2 goals. I think that one was savable. Not a great shot. Of course, he's not into the game yet.
On the face-off right now, Hofstra leading so far in the game. Face-offs 5-2, but trail on the scoreboard 5-2. Number 12 was Minnow for Hofstra. He lost on that face. Look at O'Shea's spin. O'Shea shoots. It got the post. Again, Spruitt is saved by the pipe.
Goalie's best friend.
Let's go, let's go.
And there is a timeout on the field that was called by Loyola. The Greyhounds lead it by 3 with 7:31 left in the first half. We're back with more right after this timeout.
Transportation, a family-owned school bus company that has been servicing your school bus needs for over 30 years.
Now, Bob ruled John Danowski because his team, Blake Miller, scored his second of the game, and they're within striking distance now at 3.
Well, that's what's great about lacrosse. One more goal, and these guys have that confidence again, and it's still a long way to go even in the second quarter. What they can't do is give up a cheap goal. They got to work hard on defense, hopefully force a mistake, get the ball back on offense.
He doesn't want to happen what happened against UMass. They fell behind early 8-1, and then the next part of the game, they actually outscored UMass 4-3. So they've got to overcome that tightness at the beginning against these quality teams.
That's right. That's exactly true. But they've got to have confidence against these guys. They beat them 2 years ago. They're playing good defense, cut down those unforced errors, and the score is maybe 3-2, 4-3, something like that. They'd have the ball that much more time on offense.
They score another goal, they'll be right back here. But they need a big defensive stand. You can't let a guy like Duffy walk in and score as he just did.
Good underhand shot.
That went through the 5-hole of Spruitt, and as quickly as Hofstra scored, Brian Duffy answers for the Greyhounds of Loyola.
There are 2 problems there, Carl. First of all, they let him play in front of the goal too much. They should have doubled up on him somewhere. But of course, then they do it. Look at him all by himself. They're pushing him out. He shoots underhand, uses the defenseman as a screen. Spruitt went to his knees, a mistake. Here it comes again. Offensberg is playing him real well. He uses Offensberg as a screen and puts it through Spruitt's legs. Spruitt's got to stand up on those. He can't go to his knees.
Second of the game, 15th of the season for Brian Duffy.
I think it's the second shot of the game. He's 2 for 2.
Well, then his percentage is going to go up, Bob, because he came in at 55%.
That's what makes him a great ball player. Great offensive players don't waste anything. And he came in and did a great job.
There is Spruitt a couple of moments ago asking you about whether or not John Danowski might go to the senior, number 5, Kevin Johnson. But maybe 1 or 2 big saves by Spruitt would boost his confidence and get the Dutchman back.
He's got 2 saves so far. That's what he needs. He needs a big save. I thought that first save would loosen him up a little bit, but so far he's been very tight in the goal.
Alexander looking to make things happen. The jump shot stopped in the cage by McGeady. Now he looks for the quick clear. And he's got number 12, Matt Dwan. Long pole. The shot knocked down in front. Never reached Spruitt. And here come the Dutchmen.
Notice how quick Dwan was to break out, though. Catch that ball and work at it.
Got a whistle. Flag was down on the field. And we will check it out. Who is coming to the near side to sit out? It's a 1 minute, and I believe it's on number 41 of Hofstra. It'll be John Hall, the senior.
They're coming down. There's John Hall right there. It was a slash. They've got a whole minute now. Here he comes. Good feed to the man. Bam. Oh, a little late hit on Duffy. Just a friendly tap to say hello, but the refs caught him on it.
Man up situation right now. Baxo. Thornton. Whip it around. O'Shea.
A lot of confidence, Carl. Now they're running a 3-3 that puts all their firepower in the front. The problem is right there in a 3-3. You saw it. Spruitt beat him to the back line. That's the problem with a 3-3.
Maybe that's the spark that Hofstra would need. Spruitt with the great diving effort, reaching, and Hofstra gets possession.
You can't be forced out of bounds. Good play. John calls a timeout just before Holland is forced out of bounds. Good play by John Danowski in calling that timeout.
So the Hofstra Flying Dutchman huddle around Coach John Danowski. 5:20 left in this first half of play. 6-2 in favor of Loyola. 19 seconds left and the man up for Loyola.
Going back, Ron, you play the crease spinner, you're up top right side shooter. All right, okay, clear it. You can redirect, screw.
You can redirect. All right, Jake and Chris Panos. You're on the 20-yard line. You guys are stacking. Brian, you're taking the ball? Are you taking the ball? What do you say? All right, you're going to be right here. All right, so they're going to stack right there. As you can see a lane, they're going to pick right before the whistle begins. Bang. All right, we go back. All right, let's go, boys. Come on. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. One at a time. One at a time.
All right, so that is John Danowski. Now, moments ago, let's listen and we'll hear exactly what happened, why that timeout was called.
Great call by John Danowski. His man's about to be forced out, and he pushes, he calls a timeout. Now they're going to double the ball. There's 19 seconds to go. In lacrosse, if you get the ball beyond that restraining line into the box, your man comes back in. They should be doubling the ball right now. You got to give him 5 yards, but Dwan's the dangerous guy. You'll see it right now. Every man's got a man, shutting everybody off. Holland's got to get in the box.
Comes back to Spruitt. Near side Human. 10 seconds left before John Hall is released. Far side Altmansberger, number 4.
Too much time. You only have 10 seconds from the restraining line to the midfield line to get it over the line. They spent too much time. Another error.
There's a shot that whistles wide by number 11, Tim O'Shea.
And Spruitt diving gets the ball again. It was a mistake by Loyola, not having a man behind the goal.
Duffy was there, but Spruitt just diving for it, and Hofstra comes up with it with 4:50 left first half. Dutchman trailed by 4 at 6-2. Vinny Hannigan, 43 far side, working Brian Volpe, number 3, Loyola. Draped all over him is Volpe. That's Jacobs behind the cage. Jacobs with the goal.
That's what Jacobs got to do. And that was a long stick. Nice. Used the defenseman as a screen. Came around real hard. Shot underhand. McGeady never saw it. I'll tell you now, McGeady has not shown me right now that he's a real All-American. That's what he's got to do. Now he gets the ball. Watch him drive. Look how he protects his stick. Protects it. Now he puts that burst of speed. Leans into him. Uses the defenseman screen. Takes a terrific shot. Low to the left-hand side. Away from the goalie stick. Great play by Kevin Jacobs. You need more of that.
12th goal of the season for Jacobs, using Brendan Fry, number 8, as the screen, beating McGeady. And the Dutchmen now trail by the score of 6-3, but they come up with the ball once again. Rob Minnow, number 12.
They've been doing a good job on faceoffs, Carl. I think they're ahead in faceoffs. The problem they've had rather, is those unforced errors.
Right now, they are up 6-4 in faceoffs, Hofstra over Loyola. 26 for the Dutchman. Blake Miller has 2 goals in this game. 3 is Langtree. Working around the cage. Had a man out in front, but did not see Chris Panos, 42, wide open. Now Panos has control. Bounce shot, nice save. Hard shot taken by Miller.
Good save. Good save by McGeady then.
He's got 4, flag is down. In front, goes wide, second flag is down.
Now what's great about that, Carl, you get that free shot.
And is that a third? Because the referee had thrown a flag, then threw his hat, and we have a flag on the near side.
Now, usually when you see a flag like that, you got a slash, and you get 2 slashes right there. So there are going to be 2 men down.
Brian Langtree's the attack.
Well, Brendan Fry, number 8, coming to the near side, along with number 12, Matt Dwan, to the near side.
Now, there'll be 1 man down for 2 minutes, 2 men down for 1 minute. Now what they'll do, you'll see an offense, it's called a 1-4-1. When you do a lacrosse offense, you put a man where you usually number it by behind the goal. 1 man behind, 4 in front, and 1 in front. They're running a 3-3 right now, but they'll put a man behind.
This is a major opportunity right now for the Dutchmen, trailing by 3 goals with 3:25 left first half.
They want to be patient, Carl, but they don't want to be too deliberate. Too deliberate means they don't get that good shot. They've got to work. They can't work for that perfect shot.
Jacobs with a rifle in the goal.
Terrific shot.
Man up. Jacobs, second goal of the game, 13th of the season. Dutchmen within 2.
Great shot by Jacobs. They were in a 3-3, which is dangerous because if Jacobs misses that shot, chances are McGeaney beats everybody behind there. But 6 guys in front of the goal give you greatest firepower.
Normally, is the 3-3 very effective against a 1-4-1?
Yes, yes. Because they're going to box up. Here comes a shot. Jacobs just winds up, uses the defenseman of the screen, and beats McGeaney on a great shot away from a goalie stick. Real good shooters will shoot away from a goalie stick because that's his most vulnerable position.
On the long pole on the face-off, Loyola in control. O'Shea spins, gets dumped. It's loose. Screw it in the crease.
Now, O'Shea made a key error. He had a man parked all by himself on the corner and didn't get it to him in time. He should have really given it to the guy in the corner, had a one-on-one with a goalie.
Alexander off the spin. 36 for Hofstra. Signaling was Gargiulo. He wanted the ball on the near side.
Now what happens to Carl, all penalties are then released unless it was a penalty like for illegal stick. That'll go 3 minutes non-releasable. But like in hockey, all penalties are released when they score a goal.
Unless it is that major.
Unless it's a major penalty, right.
Tough on the turf, but coming up with a loose ball, a Dutchman behind the cage. That was number 42. Panos still loose, being fought for. Fry and Jacobs. Ball goes to Loyola.
Now, Jacobs took his eye off the ball a little bit, and look, Fry is going to be a magician with that stick. You got to protect your stick. He didn't. Checked his stick, checked Jacobs' stick, and Loyola gets the ball.
Be interesting right now is Loyola with possession, Bob, to see how they come down. Spruitt has livened up his act in the cage in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
He's got a lot more confidence. As I said, I haven't seen a lot from McGeaney yet. He's made 1 good save, but he hasn't a lot of pressure on him.
Pat Irvin, number 7, he gets checked by Dave Heumann. Ball rolls out to the near side. Referee signaling that it will be Loyola's ball, though.
I don't think John Donaiski is too happy with that. I thought they checked the stick. Unless it went off a foot, I thought sure that was going to Hofstra.
Pat Irvin, number 7 for Loyola. 34 is Heumann, and number 4 is Doug Altmansberger. Here's some
good check. Now look at that. It's a good check. Oh, no. Referee's made the right call. Kicked off by a defenseman's stick.
Which was number 34, Dave Heumann.
But good aggressive defense. I like that. Good aggressive defense.
Thornton, 24, working on Langtree, 24. This is Brian Baxo, number 9. Approaching 1 minute to play in this first half. 6-4 Loyola.
That's good defense by Dave Heumann. What they don't want to have to do right now is have Loyola score an easy goal. You know, right now they got a lot of momentum, 2 goals down. No easy goal right now.
And having scored the last 2 goals as well. Oh, Spruitt coming up big on Thornton.
Good save by Spruitt.
Shot, and that one whistles wide. He did the splits, did Spruitt.
Look at the pressure they're putting on him right now.
Take a look at the last couple of moves here by Spruitt, 17.
Now, look at him drive down. Thornton, a good save by him. He gave him a little fake, which is what I teach in camp. Good for him. I had him in camp. Gave a little fake to make him shoot high, and then came up real quick and made that good high save.
Approaching 40 seconds, first half. Dutchmen have scored the last 2 to close to within 2 at 6-4. Baxel working on Heumann. In close, knocked down. Comes out and Thornton regains. Quickly it goes behind the cage. 26, Jorgalis. He already has 2 goals in this first.
And he's got a short stick on him right now, Carl. He should go on him. Good check.
John Hall with a good check. John Hall comes up 15 seconds. This is Altmansberger.
I get over the line, call a timeout. Work 1 play.
Well, they're going to let him go. Altmansberger, does he have time to beat the clock? makes the move, check from behind, and the clock will run out.
Carl, he should have dumped the ball off. He was tired getting down there.
But Hofstra did score the last 2 goals of this first half, and right now, after 30 minutes, John Danowski and Dave Cottle, respective coaches, walking off. But it's Cottle's team ahead by the score of 6-4. We're back with more. Bob Rule.
Carl, the key is Hofstra's got to come out and score that 5th goal. Right now, don't let them score. Don't let Loyola score now. Come out and score that 5th goal. They're right back in the game.
We'll find out what happens. Meantime, right after this.
Discover the defensive training secrets of America's finest baseball
Stadium in Hempstead, New York. Right now, Loyola, the Greyhounds, by 2 over the Flying Dutchman by the score of 6-4. Bob Rule, an interesting first half of play. Hofstra scored the first goal. Loyola rattled off a bunch, and Hofstra closed out the half with 2.
Well, I think what you saw here is a little lack of confidence for Hofstra initially. Unforced errors really hurt them early. But what we saw the last 5 minutes, Kevin Jacobs scores a goal. Suddenly Jacobs realized, this kid's an All-American, but I can beat him. So what happens? Beats him again on extra man. The key right now is for Hofstra to come out smoking and score that next goal, and they'll feel like they're right in the game.
You mentioned the highlights. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. It's 3-1 Loyola in the first quarter. They make it 4-1.
Now this comes off one of those unforced errors we're talking. Just charges down the goal, looks to the front, okay? And watch this good dodge. Watch O'Shea's dodge. He shoots and bang! Shoots a real good shot in the upper corner.
That made it the score of 4-1. We move into the second quarter of play. It was 5-2 in favor of Loyola, and then it's Duffy that will come up.
Okay,
well, this is actually
like
Jacobs. So.
Look at Jacobs' good shot right there. Jacobs takes a good underhanded shot, beats him clean, and gets a lot of confidence from that, Carl. He's got to run their offense.
Duffy had made it, of course, the score 6-2, and then Jacobs added 2 to make it 6-3, and where we are right now at 6-4. Take a look at that first quarter summary as far as scoring went. Hofstra ran off the first goal. It was Miller, but then Duffy, George Gallus scored 2 in a row. Then O'Shea closed it out, made it 4-1 Loyola after 1 quarter. The second quarter, Loyola got it going again. Brian Baxo opened up the scoring. Then Hofstra came back. Miller got his second of the game. Then Duffy scored his second goal of the game, followed up by 2 Jacobs goals. That made it where we are right now at 6-4. Second half about to unfold. Bob Rule and I are back at Hofstra Stadium right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Good luck to Hofstra's Flying Dutchman.
What might be the critical point right now to start the second half?
Well, if you look at faceoffs, Hofstra won 8 out of 12 faceoffs the first half, really dominating. Their problem was they win the faceoff, didn't do anything with the ball, threw it away. They've got to now win the faceoffs and play good offense.
Now I know why you're a goalie. You didn't have to hustle too much. He's out of breath, folks, from running from down on the field back up here. Are you in shape?
It's that pressure. Not as good a shape as I thought.
Play back in to start the second half. Irvin took a shot up high. Actually, it wasn't Irvin. It was Brian Volpe took a shot up high. Ball rolled out on the near side. And it will go to the Hofstra Flying Dutchman, who trailed by 2. They closed out the first half, scoring 2 goals by Jacobs to close to within 2.
Now, they've got to be 5 yards away from him. The key here is got to clear the ball. Don't make those mistakes they were making early and take advantage of good scoring opportunities.
Altmansberger poked from behind, knocked out. Volpe with a great diving effort.
See, Doug Altmansberger did the classic mistake. He's in an open field. He slowed down and looked to pass. And he was jumped from behind. First of all, his teammates got to be screaming at him that that was going to happen. Just didn't hear them.
Seems like a little bit of confusion here. And now play back in. And McGeaney out of the cage. Far side goes to Fry.
And they got lucky because they were offsides. Or too many men on the field, I'm sorry. Hofstra got lucky on that play.
Far side, Altmansberger, number 4. Back there, number 11 is O'Shea. Number 12 is Matt Dwan for Loyola. And here comes O'Shea. Altmansberger plays it back to the cage to Spruitt, who really came alive the last 5 minutes of that first half. Flag is down on the field against Loyola.
Dave Cottle was upset about that last pass. Was mouthed off the official, got a minute on sportsmanlike.
We've played 58 seconds, and Dave Cottle's team will play down a man.
That's a great opportunity for Hofstra right now.
Take a look at the numbers of the first half, Bob, and Loyola with a lot of shots. The saves were pretty even. Face-offs, as you talked about, were dominated by Hofstra.
That's right. What we don't have right here, as we said, is the unforced error situation. That's where Hofstra really was not doing very well. They had 7 unforced errors. That really hurt them badly.
And right now, that's pretty much the difference in the game, the 2-goal lead for the Greyhounds of Loyola.
That's what I think. They're in that 3-3, a lot of firepower up front, but dangerous if they miss the ball.
They scored on the 3-3 towards the tail end of that first half on the man-up goal by Jacobs. See if they do it again. Whip it around. 31 is Paul Judge, 15 Jacobs, 20 is Holland. 30 seconds left. The shot scored, Judge.
Great shot. Great patience, Carl. They waited for the right opportunity to score. Momentum to Hofstra right now. Right back in the game.
5th of the season for Paul Judge, number 31, the sophomore.
Now look at that patience. Look at that patience. Look at left-handed, a rocket. Defenseman comes out a little late, screens him. Great shot in the upper left-hand corner. Here it comes. Watch the defenseman screen, and the defenseman ducked. When the defenseman ducked in front of me, I said, get in the goal. Why don't you see what it's like? That guy's going to come out with his head up, especially too, he doesn't want to get hurt, Carl. That's how you hurt your neck, when you come with your head down. Keep your head up and keep that neck firm.
Procedure on the face-off.
Now, if there was no possession, then they're not quite sure who moved first, so they have a reface.
Well, that's what they're going to do, and it'll be the long pole again. Number 5, Hanford for Loyola. 34, Human for Hofstra, and Dave Human scoops it up. Will he regain? Shovels it back, whistle.
Now, what happened then is you can't go into this midfield area. You've got to stay in that box until the ball is, the referee yells possession. Somebody on Hofstra came out of that box too early.
24 is Zach Thornton, looking to make a move. Around number 32 of Hofstra is Ryan Grimes. Spruitt might have gotten a piece.
Good save by Spruitt. Came right up and stood tall for Zach Thornton.
And what a great effort. 43 Hannigan getting it to Spruitt, and they get it upfield, and this is John Hall, 41. Whip it ahead. Good look for Scott Sullivan with a burst. Great save by McGeaney.
Good save, good shot, but it was to a stick side, Carl. Shoot away from the goalie stick that. He made a good save, but it wasn't difficult if he put it on the other side.
7 saves. Down is Thornton. Down is number 29, Mark O'Brien. And Duffy working on Altmansberger. And that pass went to no one.
You know, the ball was moving around almost too quickly. There too much action. Got to settle it down.
Check
now
out.
Look at this. Wow, he could have really clocked him. Hit him pretty good, but could have really clocked him.
On
hit
Thornton.
him real good on Thornton, and then another good hit. But look at that. The action becomes too frenetic, and Altmansberger picks the ball. Should have given it to the goalie, calm down things a little bit.
It's turned into an interesting game. Hofstra scored the first goal, and then Loyola rattled off 5 in a row, led it 5-1. But Loyola now with only a 1-goal lead at 6-5. Pat Irvin, number 7, far side. 27 for Hofstra is Jude Airbar. He's a junior, number 27. And thrown away. More bad errant passes than I've seen in any one game.
It could be the light, but I'll tell you, that was a great little check, okay? The guy guarding him threw a nice little check into his hands, and the ball went wild because of that.
Nice move to get around on the far side by Blake Miller. He's got a couple of goals in the game for Hofstra. Number 3 is Brian Langtree.
Now notice he's got a short stick on him, Carl. That's what you look for, the short stick matchup, and then go on the guy hard.
Jacobs scored the last 2 goals of the first half for Hofstra.
You see, Miller's got a short stick on him right now. I'd go on him.
That's Galladay. And McGeaney came up with the save. It's loose. Fry couldn't come up with it. Miller loses from behind. And a good shovel ahead comes to Brian Volpe.
Now, that was a good play, Clark. Good save, but that's what they've got to do on offense. Move the ball like that, force that short stick, go for the good shot.
Great look, better save. I think Spruitt might have gotten a piece of that.
If he didn't, I hope he did.
Well, for
give him a save.
Give him the save.
Give him the save on that one.
It looked like he might have gotten
Look at this. They got a guy wide open. It's too much of a problem. They got confused. They had 4 men back on the offensive side of the field. It was like they were man down for a second or two.
Junior Mark O'Brien still in possession, working around Langtree.
Good save.
Swatted away. Somebody lost a stick. It was Rich Gargiulo.
We call that a helicopter. He hit his stick so hard the stick went spinning out of his hands.
Reversed on that shot, spun to the inside was number 14, Halliday. Chopping at it is Dave Heumann. Falling to the deck is check number 26. It wasn't O'Brien, it was Jorgalis. But Spruitt comes up with it.
Good play by Hofstra. Nice aggressive defense. I like that.
You don't like to harp on it, but when it's a good harp, Spruitt has been so active in the last 10 or 12 minutes, and it's turned the game around.
Well, that's a sophomore, Carl. All of a sudden, he made remember that key save he made early where a guy came one-on-one, he made a good high save. That gave him that confidence to play well. He's been great this half. Terrific. And clearing the ball with more confidence.
Hofstra right now is looking to tie the game up. Oh, it caught the pipe. It went off the far post of the cage behind McGeaney. Spinning out of trouble. Here comes Loyola. Number 12 is Matt Dwan with a long pole.
Dwan will shoot. He gets a chance. He'll shoot that ball.
Played almost 6 minutes here of this third quarter.
Hofstra's got to be patient right now. Got to be patient. Play good defense.
Ryan Baxo. 14 is Halliday. Return for Baxo.
Notice how they're clearing out for him.
Hofstra almost went on the double team of Baxo, and then they kick it back out to Thornton, 24.
Well, what happens, Carl, like hockey, they take their men out when they're tired of the middies, and that's why he could double, because the offensive midi was coming off the field.
That's Thornton. He's got the step, goes behind to Duffy, and there is a goal.
Excellent
quick
ball.
shot by Tim O'Shea.
A nice way of working that ball around.
Second of the game for O'Shea. 13th of the season. Loyola again with a 2-goal lead at 7-5. Time of that goal comes at 6:20 of
Look at the ball move right behind us. See the goalie's butt turned around. O'Shea, quick high shot. And this time, unfortunately, hit the post and went in. But see how the goalie's turned around? It's called getting to the X-man. The attacker behind the goal is called the X-man. Get it to him, make the goalie turn around, then feed over the top of the goal. And it's a much more difficult save to make.
Give Duffy an assist on that goal. Duffy in the game has 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. Scooped back, but Loyola will come up with it. It's Volpe, the sophomore, around Jacobs, and now slows it down. 21 is Greg Carroll for Loyola, and 29 is O'Brien. Thornton, 24, back on the field for the Greyhounds. A lot of changes being made by Dave Cottle. Fresh legs going onto the field. Halliday. Thornton working on Altmansberger. Behind to the key guy in this attack is Duffy. Shot goes high, taken by Mark O'Brien.
But you know what was great? You see Duffy's look? He looked across the entire field and just ripped a perfect pass for a shot. High and to the right, so the guy just had to catch it and shoot it.
O'Brien. 24, Langtree for Hofstra. The older brother of freshman number 3, Brian Langtree.
What they're doing is a lot of one-on-one. They figure a guy like Zach Thornton's got such good speed, he can just beat the guy.
Fell to the turf, but never lost control. Loyola's still with it. The quick look, O'Brien, the quick shot, quick save, follow, and the score.
Again, a great look. That starts with Duffy. Duffy getting it out front. A good shot, a good save by Spruitt. And then the rebound, goal scored by Chris Barjulis.
Third goal of the game, 16th of the season for the freshman, Chris Georgalis.
Now here's the, watch the good ball movement. Right there, good save, good save. He gets up, there's nobody there to pick the rebound, he just puts it behind him. In a case like that, all defense people around has got to check sticks, let the goalie pick the ball up.
Hofstra had closed to within one at 6-5, but Loyola has come back with 2 straight, open up a 3-goal lead, looking for even more. And Hofstra having trouble. They had led in faceoffs, but they've lost the last few.
They haven't won a face-off this half yet, 4-0, and that's going to be key in the long run because that translates into more ball possession for our Loyola, more opportunities to score. Notice too how, Carl, they're really, what they're doing is they're changing their middies real quick, get fresh legs out there and say, look, run these guys one-on-one as much as you can.
Flag is down. Langtree got up high on O'Brien. Spruitt with the save, but Langtree went upstairs on O'Brien, and that's why the flag was thrown.
And it's a 1-minute penalty, a personal foul. But I'll tell you, Carl, it's much more tiring to play defense than offense. You can relax on offense, you can't relax on defense. Watch this, he gets a little behind him, and he'll bring that stick up. We're going to see it. There it is. Bang, right on the head. But that's because you get tired. Offense is much easier than defense in terms of keeping your legs in your wind.
Loyola 0 for 1 on the man up so far.
Okay, in a 1-3-2, man behind.
This would be a very big kill for the Flying Dutchman, who trail by 3. They need to come up with a big defensive stand and come down on the other side and score.
Play. Now, get a midi down there. See Holland come down and pick the ball up. In a case like that, Carl, when you're still down, you get a midfielder down to play. If he can get over into the box, then the man will come in.
Well, there's 32 seconds still left in the man up.
Now, Almensberger's got to move a little faster.
He's really being very deliberate. There's Dave Heumann picking up the pace just a bit. Knocked away.
Too deliberate, Carl, too deliberate. You got to make those passes nice and crisp.
John Hall, 41, fighting, along with 42, Panos. Rolls to the turf and loses it. Brendan Fry, long pole, look at the control, spins away from Heumann and regains with a burst. Ahead it comes, a shot, big save, Spruitt on Duffy.
Good save, great save by Spruitt.
And look at the clear by Spruitt to Jacobs.
Not very pretty, but effective. Got the ball
worked. And the feed might have hit the stick of a Loyola player. John Danowski is signaling that, and the officials caught it as well.
Good play, though. Good idea. Hofstra could come right back. What's great about this game is 3 goals. You could score 2 goals in 30 seconds and be right back in the ball game.
Get off!
What was the quickest you've seen as far as goals scored in a game that you might have played or a game you might have watched?
We were down for the national championship in the club game. We were down 2 goals with 34 seconds to go. We tied it up and won it in overtime.
There you go. So you answered my question. Miller. Wow, look at McGeaney knock that down in front.
Good save. We see both goalies really respond well in the third period, Carl.
9 saves in the game for McGeaney so far.
It's like he woke up the second half almost.
Loose. Fought for. Got a whistle. Procedure goes against.
Interference. Once you pick the ball up, you can't interfere with another man. It's almost like a moving pick in basketball. You can't interfere with a guy.
Dave Cottle looking on inside 5 minutes left. Third quarter, 8-5 in favor of the Greyhounds. The number 6 team in the nation came in with a record of 6-1. Hofstra 4-1, ranked number 13. Hofstra's 1 loss was to UMass. Loyola's 1 loss was to Brown. Miller. No room, cut off there. Presley, number 40 with the shovel. Behind to Jacobs, has trouble and backed off Fry. And then McGeaney comes up with it.
You know what was great? All Fry did then was to interfere a little bit so McGeaney could pick it up.
O'Shea Quick move, backing it out. Hitting 4 minutes to play, third quarter.
Smart play by O'Shea. Middies were tired. Look at the middies coming on. Smart enough to pull it out, get fresh legs on the field. That's just what they were doing then.
A couple of fresh legs. Baxo, number 9. Thornton, 24.
Two guys that love to go to the cage, Carl. These guys have been going to the cage all day long.
O'Brien.
Now he's got a short stick on him, so he's going to try to work the corner.
There it is. Spruitt getting a piece. They look to go backdoor. The quick shot on the spin around by O'Shea. Still loose, and Spruitt coming up with it.
You can see O'Shea is from West Genesee High School, one of the most powerful programs in the nation. Even as a freshman, he's got like varsity moves.
Timeout on the field. Loyola.
Apparently, AT&T and MCI and Sprint have decided that you can afford to pay for time.
Third quarter, and that's a good check on the defensive side for Hofstra, who trails by 3 at 8-5. Flag is down.
That's called a hold. I'll call that from up here.
Even you still see those from way up here.
I'll tell you, a cardinal error, though. Never fouled in the offensive side of the field. He was in no danger of scoring. He's 80 yards away from the goal. Hey, if you can't get a good check, and let him go. Especially defensively, he's not going to shoot on you.
So what you're saying is that was a bad penalty taken on the hold by Tim O'Shea.
That was an enthusiastic penalty, an over-enthusiastic
You're
penalty.
a coach.
Yes.
It was a bad
penalty.
Okay, I got it. You admitted it. All right. Man up, 2 of 3 for Hofstra. Jacobs and Judge, the goal scorers on those man-up plays. Flying Dutchman need to score here. Trailing by 3, late third quarter. Jacobs 15, that is Judge. He's got the rifle and he scores again.
Like a cannon. A cannon.
From the identical spot from before, Bob Rule.
A great shot. The guy came out, a natural screen with the defense, was a little bit slow, and he bangs it home. They move the ball around. Look at Jacobs, throws it to him, winds up. Look at that defenseman duck again. You can't duck because you're forming a natural screen for McGeady. You can't do it.
And it was a senior that ducked.
Watch him duck. And then gets another screen. I don't think McGeady ever saw the ball.
I think Matt Blanc come across, number 12.
Yeah, you can't duck.
So Hofstra, 3 of 4 on the man-up, trail now by 8-6. Hofstra comes up with it. That was
a great play by David Human, though. A great play by David Human to pick the ball up.
Speaking of Human, did not see it. It was behind him, rolled out. But Hofstra will get it. Take a look at your goal scorer. Paul Judge now has 2 goals in the game, and Hofstra is within 2 at 8-6.
Now, Judge has got great genes. His uncle, or I think his stepfather, is Brooks Sweet, who was the World Player of the Year in the World Games about 8 years ago.
Well, Bob, Hofstra has fought its way back with the man-up goals. Coming into tonight, they had only scored 6 in 22 opportunities. Tonight, they've got 3 in 4 opportunities.
75% is great. I'll take 50% any day.
And it's coming against the number 6 team in the nation.
There was a bad pass by Jacobs trying to throw across the crease, just intercepted by McGeady.
2 minutes to play third quarter. Volpe. Hannigan, 43 for Hofstra. Mark O'Brien, here comes Thornton. 24 as Volpe comes to the near side and off the field. Flip it around, 26. Jorgalis has 3 goals in the game. He's a freshman from Mayapack High School.
He's got a short stick on him. Look at the movement on the guy. Good save by Spruitt.
Went around Holland, but Spruitt come up big. Swatted at and missed. Still on the field.
Too bad. Almost stayed in. Almost stayed in.
James Delgado did not realize that it was at his feet.
Look at Spruitt. Stays strong and bang, makes a good save. I'll tell you, Gorjalis made a nice play not going in the crease.
Holds his ground.
Look at that. Holds his ground great. And that time he went down pretty good on the ball. I wouldn't object to that.
He has played 2 different games.
The first and
10
second
minutes,
half.
12 minutes, so that first quarter a little shaky. Then he really picked it up midway second quarter.
Well, John Danowski said something very telling. He said these guys have to believe in themselves. And Spruitt's a good example. He's got to believe he can play at this level. He said these guys were beating themselves, not beating up the opposition.
Well, he has turned the game around, and Hofstra right back in. And Thornton with a shot, and Spruitt never saw it. A rocket. A rocket by number 24, Zach Thornton, the senior. 7th of the season for Zach Thornton.
Every time Hofstra creeps up, it seems to let down just a little bit. Loyola comes right back. They've got to stop that momentum. Here it comes. Good pass. He's got plenty of time to wind up. Watch him. He's looking. Good overhand shot. A rocket. Oh, and I'll tell you something. I think it was deflected off of somebody. It looked like it changed direction just a little bit.
See from up top.
Let's look real close. See if the defenseman deflects it. Oh, I don't know if it did or didn't. Just a rocket.
Duffy might have set that screen number 2 as he ducked, but there's Thornton, the goal scorer. Once again, Loyola opening it up to a 3-goal lead, this time at 9-6.
A clean shot, an overhand shot. Notice that. Right on cage, overhand hard is the hardest shot for goalie to stop.
Whistle, timeout, Greyhounds of Loyola with 34 seconds left in this third quarter. And Dave Cottle and the Greyhounds leading it by the score of 9-6 over the Hofstra Flying Dutchman, coached by John Danowski.
I'm not quite sure of this timeout right now, tell you the truth, Carl. 34 seconds to go. He's got the ball. What's he going to do? Work out something, work an extra play or something?
34 seconds, plenty of time, good poise. If they squeeze us from the wing, they're going to throw the ball to X and bang it out of the back pipe. You've seen that, all right? Play the gloves on the rebound, sticks and body, no garbage. Put the hammer down. Let's go.
All right, fellas, we get the ball, know the clock, screen the goalie. All right, get in front of the goalie, get in space. If we lose the ball then, everybody get back in the hole. Come on, defense. Let's go, guys, we got to work hard.
First guy that you heard in the huddle was Rich Donovan, and then, of course, John Danowski, but also on this coaching staff of Hofstra, John Campbell and Seth Tierney. That is Dave Cottle in the middle of the huddle for the Greyhounds of Loyola.
And what you heard right there, Carl, is the defensive coach's lament. No garbage goals. They scored a garbage goal when Spruitt made a very good save. The ball bounced out front. People weren't quick enough to pick him up. As Rich said, you lower the hammer on anybody in front of the goal. It's a polite way to say knock them on their butts if they're near the ball.
I guess you could tell that Rich Donovan is the defensive coach for Hofstra.
Yes. And here they give it to the fast guy right here.
That's Thornton on Human.
Now what they want to do, isolate. They want him drive hard to the goal, and even if he doesn't score, they're hoping he'll draw a penalty. In a penalty situation, Carl, the team that gets penalized gets the ball without a face-off to start the fourth quarter.
Clock showing 12 seconds. Whistle.
Okay, warding off right there. A classic case. You can't move your free arm. Your free arm is the one you're not holding your stick with. That's just what he did then.
So 11 seconds left, Bob Rule.
Cheap it. Give it to you. It's off to the side. You cheat the ball towards the goal.
And here come the Flying Dutchman.
Throw the ball. Hook the ball.
For Julo.
Shoot.
And time has expired after 3 quarters of play at Hofstra University. 15 more minutes of action to play, and it's the Greyhounds by 3 over the Flying Dutchman.
Andre, say cheese.
Is this dull or what?
Island is a hotbed of lacrosse, and the folks certainly come out here and support the Hofstra Flying Dutchman program. When you have the number 6 team in the nation all as well, it also helps out. Take a look at the scoring summary in that third quarter. Hofstra made it 6-5. Judge came up with a goal. Then O'Shea and George Gallis his third of the game. Hofstra came back, Judge his second of the game, but then Thornton came around and he scored, and it is 9-6 Greyhounds starting the fourth quarter. And what a blast, and doing the splits was Spruitt, but Thornton has got a rocket.
And I said he missed 4 weeks of practice because he was the goalie for the American team in the Pan Am Games, the soccer goalie. So this kid is something special as an athlete.
Double dynamo because he's got such great speed and a hard shot. There's another hard shot. That one was taken by Brian Baxo, stopped by Spruitt.
And I want to mention again, Spruitt has done a terrific job this second half. Really come alive, done a great job.
I guess Danowski knew what he was doing by not pulling him when I questioned him.
Well, he found his rhythm right now. You can't blame him for the last 3 or 4 goals they've scored. He's done a real fine job.
And remember, give credit to him because he is only a sophomore. This is only the 5th game that he has started on the Division I level.
Right. And this is a great team.
Hofstra in need of a goal, trailing by 3. 1 minute gone by, 4th quarter, from Hofstra Stadium in Hempstead, New York. Jacobs has a couple in this game already. 2 is Gargiulo. Blake Miller has 2 goals for the Flying Dutchman. That is number 42, Chris Panos.
Mentioned too, Blake Miller's dad, Bill, runs really the Manhasset PBC program, does an outstanding job with young lacrosse players. Terrific man.
Number 3 for Hofstra, Brian Langtree. Hofstra coming out very, very deliberate, working it around, looking for the good one.
They're hoping some defenseman will fall asleep a little bit, maybe slip a pass inside.
And maybe backdoor something?
Right, exactly. Try to backdoor them a little bit. What they can't do is they can't get too anxious to try to force the ball after a while.
Can you get too patient and fall asleep on offense?
You can fall asleep on offense. You become too deliberate and mechanical. You don't want to become too mechanical when you're playing.
It's loose. Alexander had a shot at it for Hofstra, couldn't come up with it, but there is a whistle. There was a hold call on Loyola.
Interference. I'll tell you what happens. McGee picks the ball up. He doesn't yell ball, or someone doesn't see it, and a guy interferes with it. And he interferes with it, and the ball goes back to Hofstra. Good break for Hofstra.
John Danowski watching the action.
I think one of these middies has got to go here. All right, good shot. That's just what they've got to do. Middy's got to go just like that a little bit in the front. Loosen them up on their defense.
In front, push from behind. Nothing called. Far side coming up. Look at Thornton just make the moves across midfield.
He is you want to talk about Greyhound? It is a Greyhound right there.
Pat Irvin, number 7. Number 2 is Brian Duffy. Duffy controls and looks, kicks it back out to O'Brien. Working on the long pole there, Dave Heumann, 34, Hofstra. Tim Mark, one of the officials, got in the way and quickly got out of there.
Good check, good defense by Dave Heumann then.
Whistle.
Okay, what happened then, Carl, is that a Loyola defenseman stepped on the midfield line. That means they were offsides right away.
That one goes whistling by, and the dive.
Not a smart shot, Carl. The offense really wasn't set. You see that happen? There was nobody behind the goal to back up, so Loyola gets the ball right away. It wasn't that good a shot. Didn't have that great an angle to shoot the ball either.
So Loyola comes right back, leading by 3, 11 and a half to play in the 4th quarter. Jorgalis, 26, has 3 goals. He's a freshman. What you like when you look at the rosters of both teams is the balance from freshmen through seniors. You know these programs are going to be around for years to come.
What I like is that Hofstra has a good play, excellent balance in terms of older kids, younger kids.
The blend is there. O'Brien.
And they're missing Mike Bessio, who last year was the player of the year in Division II lacrosse. He's out with an injury. This is Hofstra now. He'll come back next year or maybe later in the season. He'll help them a lot. He gives them size, Carl. Hofstra's attack is not real big, and they can be pushed around by bigger defensemen.
If he is lost for the season, John Danowski said he probably will apply and get a medical red shirt, so he will not lose this season because of that injury.
Right. Well, he's about 6 feet, 200 pounds, which makes him a lot bigger than the attack when they're out there right now. And it would give us some size against big defensemen.
That was a good play by Human. Baxo had walked in there, but Human poked it from behind. Even though Loyola does have possession, good play by Human on Baxo.
I think this is Dave Human's best game by far this year. He really is playing with confidence. He's playing like the Dave Human was played the last couple of years at Hofstra.
Nice save off the bounce. You talk about Human. Then in front, Duffy on the rebound. It was loose.
Garbage goal. That's just what Rick Donovan was talking about. You can't give garbage goals up like that.
Third goal of the game for Brian Duffy. Now has 16 goals on the season. Unassisted by Brian Duffy, the junior. Time of that goal is at
Now you watch the play. Good save right there. There's that rebound. Offensberger goes for the ball. That's a mistake that we made, really. Check sticks and let the goalie pick it up. You know, it's a mistake. He's just too anxious. Here it goes again. He picks up that garbage goal. Bang. Really, Offensberger check sticks, let the goalie pick the ball up.
Off the long pole face-off, Jamie Hanford in front. And a quick goal off the face.
Now there, Hofstra has been losing the face-offs in the second half.
And quickly, it's a 5-goal lead. Fourth of the game, Chris Jorgalis, the freshman. Now it's an uphill climb.
Here we go. It's just a race right here. Good play by Henry to kick the ball forward. Gets a one-on-one. Now, a classic mistake here, Carl. Defensemen all have to... One defenseman, the far defenseman, backs into the hole. He picks up anything up on the crease. They didn't do it.
Timeout has been called on the field by the Hofstra Flying Dutchman. Right now, it's all Greyhounds leading it by 5.
You need a vacation. You know, Sunjet Airlines.
9 seconds for the Loyola Greyhounds, and we've got the goal that was scored on that 9 seconds following Duffy. Jorgalis tallied. Good kick ahead coming up by Hanford.
That's a great play. Kick it. Carl, you asked me a question. How quick can you score 2 goals? Well, you know, 9 seconds is right pretty close to as fast as you could ever score 2 goals. Problem is, John Danowski said these kids weren't believers. They were really almost beating themselves. I think when the game got to be about 8-6, that Hofstra said, I just didn't believe that they could win. They were kind of waiting for something bad to happen, and sure enough, Loyola comes out and scores 3 quick goals.
Well, right now it is 11-6. 2 goals in 9 seconds for Loyola, and quickly it's Irvin in front, boom and boom.
Good
but
save.
This time the save by Spruitt. It came right off the face-off.
Very good save.
16 saves for Spruitt, but the Dutchman trailed by 5.
Well, he really kept him in that third quarter, making 7 very good saves, too, and good quality shots. But that time, there's a mistake of a sophomore. Unforced error again. Spruitt didn't make a good pass to the midfielder.
Del Halliday, 14.
Oh, helicopter! I love that! A helicopter check.
You really do, don't you?
Yes, I do.
That pass goes wide and rolls out.
Now, you watch Del Halliday, too. He's a Canadian. Been down here for 4 years now. They play a little bit different. They keep their sticks more vertical. They're a little quicker to cradle and do other things that are just a little different way than the way we learn the game.
Is his name Del Halliday or Doc Holliday?
Doc Holliday. Well, sometimes. Play like that, he looked like Sky King the way that stick of his went helicopter.
Now you're showing your age.
That's true.
What was Sky King's? Never mind. I was going to ask you a trivia question, but I'll back off on it. Right now, the Dutchman, Paul Judge, who has 2 goals, they need to get some quickly with 8:40 on the clock. They trail by 5. Brian Holland, they whip it around. Alexander. Remember now, Loyola scored 2 goals in 9 seconds. Hofstra could do the same, get 2 or 3 quick ones, and it's a close game again.
Well, they have that kind of explosiveness. But I think this is what they got to do. They got to run on the midfield a little bit.
Maybe get it into the stick of Judge, who does have a rocket ship of a shot.
See, they're running that zone.
There's Judge. Knocked from behind. It's loose. Fry off the spin. Jamie Hanford with the good stick check.
You try to penetrate the middle of the zone. Hard to do.
Fry with the dump off. Flag is down, and a goal is scored.
I think they're going to call it for a late hit.
And Loyola player is down, and we will check the number and check out the situation. It is Fry who gets up. 12-6, the goal stands. Jorgalis, his 5th of the game, 18th of the season, 6-goal advantage for the Greyhounds. This one is getting out of hand for the Hofstra Flying Dutchman.
They need a goal. Here he comes down. Makes a very good look. Look how he looks to the point man and bang, late hit. No doubt about it. Late hit on it. Hofstra defense, they're a little frustrated right now. A little bit of a problem.
Chris, watch the game. Don't make it know the situation. Talk it out.
Well, John Danowski looked over his shoulder, talked to his team. On the man up, the Greyhounds 0 for 2 in tonight's game.
What they'll do is settle the ball down, look for a good shot.
Hofstra, man down, has been very efficient on the season, killing 14 of 16. They need a kill here desperately.
Look at the backside right now. Right now, Duffy is wide open.
There is Duffy, number 2. Making the move was O'Shea, who gives it back to Duffy.
Good pass by Duffy, though. He's always finding the open man.
10 seconds left. That shot by Thornton. Look at Spruitt dive, but I believe this time Duffy beat him, and he did.
Just missed it. Watch Duffy's passes, though. I really study an economy. Hits the guys perfectly every time.
Thornton. O'Shea. Quick. Even up as Spruitt takes that pass through the crease. Brian Holland over the shoulder. 6:50 on the clock. Dutchman trail by 6. They have the ball. Holland goes far side. Tony Alexander, 36. Vinny Hannigan, 43.
Carl, they're going to make things happen right now. I think they got to force a little bit from the midfield.
They cannot lay back any longer, Bob. They really need to attack the goal. They need to start shooting. Jacobs rifles one.
What Jacobs has got to do is got to take one more step to his right. He really didn't have much of an angle in at all to shoot the ball.
Blagrove, number 1. Volpe, number 3. And number 12, Matt Dwan on the field for Loyola. Fresh legs. And Blagrove and Volpe have some speed as well. 31 is Judge for Hofstra. Tough get, but Alexander came up with it. Nice move, Judge. Jacobs, too far out to shoot from there.
See how they're bringing Jacobs up top, though?
Oh, look at Dwan get the stick involved and picks off the pass.
Great anticipation.
O'Shea, look to shoot, fake, shot, Spruitt, save, and then scooped home on the rebound, number 12, Matt Dwan.
3 garbage goals and killed them today. That's another example. Goalie's got to clamp on the ball. Great save by Spruitt. Then they've got to put these guys, or as Richie Donovan said, to put the hammer to these guys.
7th of the season for number 12, Matt Dwan of Loyola.
Now look at the, when you look, mechanical pass right there. See mechanical? Dwan anticipates it with that long stick, intercepts it. Watch him come down. He's always looking. Look how he switched hands too. Looks, hits the point man on the fast break. Smart play by the point man. And then he rockets a shot. Spruitt makes a great save. And look at that. Dwan is right there ready to pick up the rebound and just scoops it in. That's his 7th goal of the season. There are a lot of midfielders who will be happy with that for a whole year. And he's a long stick guy.
There is a timeout on the field called by the Greyhounds of Loyola. Let's take another look, and look how the Hofstra defense, no clear in front off the rebound.
A shot, and then look at how they relax. The problem with that is that Spruitt took his stick off the ball. He was going to scoop it in. He was going to do something with it. He took a stick off the ball and let Dwan get it. If you're a goalie, you gotta hammer that ball. No one touches it but you.
One guy off so we can get Matty in, all right? Let's go, Dell, you all right? Yeah, all right. Mark O'Brien and Zach. Zach, you start with the ball. Where's Duff? Right here. Let's work Duff to the O'Shea.
And let's go with Irv. Where's Irv?
Green. Bust a nut to help each other move the ball.
Get the ball, help Zach out, all right? They're going to come hard for you, Zach, so you're going to have to run a little bit. Let's just get the ball. I'd like to see a 2-minute possession. If we get in trouble, let's get back to the midline and go Hounds. In blue. Right now, right? Go Hounds. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Go Hounds. Come on, dog.
Dave Cottle, the Loyola Greyhounds coach.
He's got to feel in control right now, Carl. Really.
It's incredible what he's done. As I mentioned earlier, 13 years, 113 wins, 47 losses, 11 straight winning seasons, and 7 straight appearances in the NCAA tournament.
And here's Mark Stewart, a sophomore. Started off a little bit shaky, but has done a wonderful job the second half. He's got 18 saves. He was a quality goaltender in high school. Everybody knew how good he was. He's really doing a nice job the second half.
He's had some trouble, no help in front, a couple of garbage goals, in fact 3 garbage goals, and it's 13-6 on the scoreboard, the widest margin right now for Loyola in this game with 5:33 left. Dave Heumann puts it into play. Gargiulo has trouble, but is able to regain.
She's going to run out of time.
Throws it into a crowd. Flag is down as Heumann picked it up. Field judge Tim Murray making that call, and congratulations to Tim Murray. Became a father last Thursday. Wife Sally giving birth to Olivia Rose Murray. So congratulations to the Murray family. In fact, grandfather and father is Norm Murray, the public address announcer here at Hofstra Stadium.
So it's a family affair tonight.
A family affair for the Murray family. There's Tim Murray, one of the top officials, by the way, Division I lacrosse.
And what's great is a guy like Tim Murray is doing a game tonight, a college game, one of the best games. Tomorrow, do a high school game.
What game might that be?
Well, you never know. Garden City Manhasset might be a pretty good game to do.
I would imagine he's doing that game if you're talking about that, Bob Rule.
I don't know that. I don't know.
You don't know that. Shot Holland whistles wide.
Good shot. That's what they've got to do.
They haven't done enough of that, though. When they came close and they made it 8-6, and you said they almost laid back and they were waiting for something to happen rather than make it happen themselves.
Right. That's what I thought, too. They just kind of laid back and waited for other people to make the play, and nothing happened.
Nobody really stepped up and took control for Hofstra. Altmansberger has been their best player. Flag is down on that hit. Paul Judge knocking down number 2, Brian Duffy.
So we go from being a man up to a man down. You know who started that? Our friend Dwan again. Intercepted a pass, turned to run upfield. Dave Cottle says he's his best athlete. There's that good. That's that hit from behind.
You know what you really can't understand a lot of times too is Dave Cottle, as you look at Judge, Cottle can talk all he wants about Matt Dwan, but until you see a Matt Dwan play like we've seen tonight, now you can understand why he likes him so much out of all the guys on his team.
That's right. He does. That's the hard work. That's being a lineman in football, a great lineman in football, where you could depend on this guy to really do his job. That's just what he did. He's got a goal tonight, plays great defense, intercepts passes. He's really done a great job.
Man up for the Greyhounds of Loyola. Brian Baxo, number 9. They are 0 for 3 on the man up so far tonight against Hofstra, but leading by 7 on the scoreboard with 4 minutes left to play in this fourth quarter.
Well, they were running about a 58% man up before they came to this game. That was great, but you know the Hofstra, as I said, was only giving up 14% on this.
In front, quick look, not able to get a hold of it was Del Halliday. Crease violation, gives the ball to the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, crease violation. No offensive player can ever step on that crease line or get in the crease.
You guys are always protected.
That's right. Goalies should be protected.
Why?
Because they're the best looking guys on the field.
So what happened?
They're delicate.
So what happened?
I didn't wear a helmet a couple games.
Coach let you out there, huh?
Mistake.
Who's your coach in Cornell?
Richie Moran.
Yeah, Richie Moran, a Long Islander, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He liked you, didn't he?
I had Renzi Lamb earlier in high school. He was a Marine.
Okay, Bob. We always have to get at least one jab in it. You realize that, right?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, like you were really an All-American. No, he was, folks. He really was. Trust me, I saw the pictures. I never saw him play because he's a lot older than I am.
Yes, that's too, Carl.
Right?
A lot more wisdom.
Okay, more experienced, more mature guy, right?
That's
3:11 left in this ball game, 7-goal lead. Again, push.
Okay, that was Carl, that was a push. If there's no possession, the ball will go to the team that got pushed. That's what happened then.
There's Spruitt, 17. Altmansberger working on O'Brien. Altmansberger has been the best player from top to bottom throughout this season so far for the Hofstra Flying Dutchman. He has really stepped it up for John Danowski.
So John says they've got to be believers in themselves. They had spurts in this game where they looked as good as any team out there, certainly as good as Loyola. They just couldn't put it together consistently.
Well, remember, they closed to within 6-5, but it is now 13-6. Loyola has exploded, and as Bob and I have mentioned, the garbage goals in front, no help in front of Spruitt, 3 of them, in fact, that really ballooned and mushroomed this game to where it is right now, 7.
I'll tell you something, Tim McGeaney played very well. Loyola doesn't make many unforced errors, so they got the ball a lot more on offense. All those things have contributed right now.
Plus, you have to like the play of the freshman number 26, Chris Georgalis. Another goal just popped home. Brian Baxo makes it 14-6. Second of the game for Baxo.
And David Human just got beaten. I think David Human's tired. He looked a little tired earlier in this quarter. They've been on defense an awful lot, Carl. It just tires you out. Defense is so much more pressure on you because in offense you can relax a little bit. Not on defense, though.
11th of the season for the local product from Farmingdale High School, Brian Baxo.
Now watch Baxo. He'll catch the pass, and really he just powers his way down. Here he comes. They were a little confused as who's going to pick him up. That's what happened then. A little bit confused who's going to pick him up. David was just a little bit late with his check.
So it's an 8-goal lead. And make it a 9-goal lead. Brian Duffy stuffing one past Spruitt.
So how long was that one before the last one?
Well, we're going to check. Hal Sass is our stat guy, does the job for us up here in the booth. 7 seconds.
So you
they got 2 goals within 9. They got 2 goals within 7. And it is at 15-6.
I thought 54 seconds was pretty good when I was playing.
That was such long ago when there wasn't really a lot of speed on the field.
You're telling me.
Oh, brother.
You know, there's another good example. There's Brian Duffy score right on the crease, scoring a goal.
A lot of goals that Loyola has scored in the end of the third and here in the fourth quarter is off the face-off. Flag is down. All of a sudden, Hofstra, who had an advantage in the first half, Bob, can't control here in the second.
Well, in the first half, they had a lot of unforced errors and won the face-offs. This half, they haven't. They won 1 face-off in the entire half, and they haven't made as many unforced errors. They've got to put things together in order and play a whole complete game. But as we talked about, they're a young team and got to bring it together.
10-1. Advantage in face-off, second half, Loyola over Hofstra. Remember, it was 6-4 at the half. Hofstra scored the first goal in the third quarter, made it 6-5, but after that, it was just all Loyola. And with 1:35 on the clock, this one you just want to let it run out and go home and try to regroup for your next game.
Got to do it. Well, they've got a couple of key games. They've got Johns Hopkins, they've got Yale, they've got Georgetown. Look, this will make them 4-2. It's not like they're going to be 1-4 or something like that. They're going to be 4-2. So they got plenty of time to make a good season.
We'll see a couple of those games later on in April here on Sports Channel. Flag is down again. You will see on April the 25th, the Flying Dutchman will be hosting Johns Hopkins. Then on the 29th, Yale.
So Johns Hopkins right now is currently ranked #1 in the nation. So they've got to have a good showing against them. One thing about the Yale game, too, that's going to be the day that the Long Island Hall of Fame is sponsoring the game. Anybody who comes to that game, the money you put into it will contribute to Long Island lacrosse. The under-19 team, maintaining a clubhouse for Long Island memorabilia for lacrosse. So if you think about coming to a game, that's a game to come to, the Yale game.
Well, Hofstra, Bob, they started out with 6 straight games at home, but now they go to the road for 4. Their next opponent will be a NAC opponent, the North Atlantic Conference, be the University of Hartford, that on Monday, April the 10th. And for Loyola, They go back into action, which will be next Saturday at UMBC before taking on Syracuse 4 days later.
Well, they're getting it right now. They're getting into the meat of their schedule. They've got Syracuse, they've got Hopkins, a couple of real good teams. And what Hofstra's got to hope for right now, quite frankly, is Loyola goes out and wins those games. So it makes their loss to them less glaring to the people who are doing the polls.
Another flag is down with 50 seconds left. It's a 1-minute slash.
Well, players getting a little chippy now. Hofstra's frustrated. They want the ball. They don't like what's happening. Tim McGeeney's getting his team together and saying, listen, fellas, we get the ball. There's an old rule. When in doubt, throw it out. Get the ball, cheap it upfield, let the attack fight for it if there's a problem. If I was him, I'm saying no more goals. I don't want to be scored on anymore today with 50 seconds to go.
What was the most goals you gave up?
Well, in the USA team, I gave up 15, but...
You won 16-15?
No, we played 30-minute quarters.
Oh.
It was endless.
Oh.
I felt like a target for a machine gun.
Clock winding down here. All but over, except for what's left with 30 seconds. Backer there is Jacobs, 15-6. This one is all Greyhounds. They will improve to 7-1. Hofstra falls to 4-2. And depending on what the 5 teams in front of Loyola did, well, they could be moving up in the rankings.
They could, but you got to usually beat teams in front of you, really, to have a chance to move up.
Holland, save. Where is it? It's a goal.
Under his legs.
McGeeney did not see it. He looked under him, and even a late call that was signified by the official.
I'll tell you something. As a goalie, no matter what score it is, no matter how well you played, when they scored with 12 seconds on you, you're very upset. You don't like that happen. I once called a timeout with 15 seconds to go in a game, got the team together and said, these guys better not score on me because it's the hardest thing. That's what you remember. That's your memory of the game. They scored with 12 seconds to go.
Well, it was Brian Holland, his 9th of the season at 14:48. Off the face, they battle. Hofstra comes up with it. 4 seconds, 3. And this game is now in the books. Loyola, the Greyhounds, coached by Dave Cottle, all over the Hofstra Flying Dutchman in this one, Bob Rule. 15-7 the final.
Well, they were good in spots. That's the key for Hofstra. But I'll tell you, Loyola really showed us why they're a top 10 team. They had a lot of offensive firepower. Dwan is a terrific defensive player, and the defense came up real big.
So once again, the final score in this one, the Greyhounds of Loyola 15, Hofstra 7. We're back with more from Hempstead, New York, right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Discover some of the finest championship golf courses in the country. Discover
Final score in this one, Greyhounds of Loyola, 6th-ranked team coming in, 15. The Hofstra Flying Dutchman, who were ranked 13th, only 7, Bob Rule. And the final 15-7, it was just mentioned, and the difference in this game, face-offs in the second half, Loyola all over Hofstra.
Well, there were a couple of key things. Face-offs, they came up with virtually all the face-offs, I think about 1 in the second half. Also, they scored a couple of goals right off the face-off, 2 goals in 9 seconds. Then there were the garbage goals, 3 or 4 garbage goals. They really deflated Hofstra's confidence in that second half. I felt somewhere along the line Hofstra was just waiting for something bad to happen rather than saying, when it got to be 8-6, we can go out there and win that ball game. They've got to gain confidence in themselves.
It was 6-5 in the third quarter. Hofstra had only trailed by 1, but you had to like the play of the freshman in this one. Chris Corgelis had 5 goals.
Hey, he stepped up big. He's a freshman for West Genesee, a great program. Watch him pick up that ball. Johnny on the spot, garbage goal, no wasted motion, just bangs it by Spruitt. And that was a good example. There was a goal on a face-off right away.
And you also had to like the guy that we talked about. We highlighted coming in. He had 13 goals, 19 assists. He added 4 more goals today, Brian Duffy.
Brian Duffy's one of the best ball players in the country. 4 goals. Look at this, though. He picks up a rebound. And again, no wasted motion. Beats the goalie to the upper left-hand side. A really fine ball player. I haven't seen many better ball players this year.
All right, so now what do? You're a coach. You're John Danowski. You have to regroup in a hurry.
Well, 2 things. First of all, they were ranked number 6. Hofstra was 13. They had spots where they were very good. They've got to get rid of the unforced errors. Mark Spruitt came up real big in the second half. They had a terrific half.
Had 19 saves total.
19 saves. He's got to put his whole game together. He's got to clear a little bit better. The team has got to have more confidence in their clearing. Get rid of those unforced errors. And again, Kevin Jacobs has got to come up big and control their offense.
Well, once again, Bob Rule, I had a lot of fun, and we'll see you later down the road. Once again, 2 more appearances for Hofstra this year on Sports Sports Channel. Have fun with those games.
Thank you, Carl. Enjoy the Bahamas. Think of me.
I will. I definitely will. Once again, the final score in this one, Loyola 15, Dave Cottle's crew over the Hofstra Flying Dutchman 7. For our entire crew, this is Carl Reuter saying so long from Hofstra Stadium.